Cars Channel News and Review Car.
Driven, 2016 Toyota Hilux and Fortuner, first impressions of the new pickup and SUV in Malaysia. Remember when Toyota was the leader in the non-national market? You won't have to jog your mind too far back. The Japanese carmaker last topped the sales charts in 2014, and was still vying with Honda for the title until the last month of last year, ultimately losing its long-held crown to its closest rival. So imagine our surprise when we found out just a month later that the rug had unceremoniously been pulled under Toyota's feet. Almost every brand struggled to sell cars in the first quarter of 2016, but the world's largest carmaker was probably hit hardest. As of March, the company sold just 10,216 vehicles, putting it not just well behind Honda, but behind Nissan as well. The disappointing performance came about mainly as a result of a significant price hike, due to the depreciating ringgit, but an aging lineup could be blamed as well, this despite the launch of the facelifted Camry, Avanza, and Rush, as well as the tax-exempt Camry Hybrid in 2015. Toyota's increasingly unfashionable image, particularly among our readers, probably didn't help matters, either. Tasked to reverse its fortunes are the new 2016 Toyota Hilux and Fortuner, both launched today. These are very important vehicles for the brand in Malaysia, particularly the Hilux. The ubiquitous pickup forms the backbone of Toyota's commercial vehicle range and makes up a significant chunk of its overall sales. Both the new Hilux and Fortuner are built on a new platform and come with completely revised looks and engines, as well as a smattering of new equipment and safety kit. The competition has really stepped up the game over the past few years, so it's great to see that Toyota has finally come to the table armed to the teeth. But the new trucks will have a mountain to climb to tackle a vastly different market from the one their predecessors entered more than a decade ago. Will they be good enough to keep up with the times and, more importantly, revitalize Toyota's sales? We take both on a quick spin in Malaysia, both on and off-road, to find out if they have promise. Before we get on, it should be noted that this is only a brief taster. We got just about an hour of seat time in the Hilux. The time we spent with the Fortuner was shorter still, limited to a round on the off-road course. Needless to say, a proper road test beckons for us to get a real feel of what these vehicles are like to drive, but that doesn't mean that there's little to be inferred here. The local Hilux range is made up of 6 variants, starting with the sole single-cab model, a 2.44x2 manual. The double-cab models are the 2.44x2 manual, 2.4 standard 4x4 manual, 2.4 G4x4 manual, 2.4 G4x4 auto and the range-topping 2.8 G4x4 auto. Meanwhile, there are just 2 Fortuner variants to choose from, these being the 2.4 VRZ4x4 diesel and the 2.7 SRZ4x4 petrol. Let's start with the styling. Although both vehicles share the same platform, along with the new Innova, they make up the updated Innovative International Multi-Purpose Vehicle (IMV) lineup, with plenty of shared components underneath. The greater differentiation in design bring these two further afield, despite both featuring Toyota's keen-look design language first seen on the 86 sports car in 2012. The Hilux is the one with the more conservative, dependable face, with big headlights flanking a large chrome-laden grille, and 3 simple air intakes in the bumper. Make no mistake, however, conservative and dependable as it is, the new Hilux strikes a more assertive gaze than the outgoing model, with an air of sophistication that was simply missing before. But it's the striking new Fortuner that will turn more heads, with slimmer, sharper headlights and an even bigger grille with large chrome bars framing it. Underneath, there's a more muscular 3-dimensional front bumper that gives the SUV an even more macho appearance than its pickup sibling, replete with chrome surrounds for the fog lights for a more premium look. Further sharpening the look on both trucks are LED headlights on the top-spec Hilux 2.8G and Fortuner 2.7 SRZ. The latters are bi-LED units, while the Hilux makes do with halogen high beams. Lower-end variants of the Hilux get reflector halogen headlights, and the Fortuner 2.4 VRZ sticks with halogen projectors. At the other end of the spectrum is the Fortuner, which looks nothing like the preceding model from the rear, what with its slim LED tail lights that mirror the shape of the headlights, and massive integrated rear spoiler. As before, there's a chrome bar that links the tail lights, inscribed with the Fortuner script. The difference in the design approach of the Hilux and Fortuner continue inside. The former gets the more utilitarian cabin, of course, with hard plastics everywhere you look and touch, and while everything feels solidly put together, the materials used still aren't quite a patch to those employed by either the Ford Ranger or the new Nissan NP300 Navara. Still, it's definitely a step up from the older model, with a combination of swoops and curves across the dashboard that are a stark contrast to the staid ambience of the predecessor. There's even fake stitching on the dash and door cards, a la Vios, as well as goodies such the Smart Entry and Start System and Camry-style 4.2-inch multi-info display that you wouldn't even imagine being incorporated in the outgoing Hilux. The cooled upper glove box is a particularly cool jetted. Perfect for storing drinks on a hot afternoon. Again, it's the Fortuner that feels the most posh inside. Soft touch materials pad the twin spars on the center console, the door trims and much of the dash, interlaced with real top stitching to emphasize the vehicle's more premium positioning. Also lending a more upmarket touch is the brown upholstery and matte wood trim, although the latter feels just as cheap as any old Toyota wood trim. Like the Hilux, the Fortuner gets a cooled upper glove box, but unique to the SUV is the front and rear automatic climate control on the top 2.7 SRZ variant, although the Hilux does get single-zone auto climate control in other markets as an option. The 2.4 VRZ gets manual aircon, but with a separate rear blower. Moving to the rear, the Hilux double cab gets a tip-up seat base that is now split 60 hours 40 minutes, while the Fortuners, also 60 hours 40 minutes split, second row seats have a new one-touch tumble function to ease access into the third row. The latter's rearmost one-touch easy space-up seats also now fold and flip up onto the body sides with one tug of the pull straps, and the 2.7 SRZ adds a powered tailgate to the mix. Standard safety kit on both the Hilux and the Fortuner include 3 airbags, including one for the driver's knee, ABS with EBD as well as ICE-fixed child seat anchors. The inclusion of 7 airbags on the Hilux 2.8G and Fortuner 2.7 SRZ as well as standard fit ABS are to be applauded, especially with rivals like the NP300 Navara and Isuzu D-Max having a maximum of 2 airbags, and no ABS on base models. However, other active safety features such as vehicle stability control, VSC, hill start assist control, HAC, and even brake assist are only available on the Hilux 2.4G AT and 2.8G and the Fortuner 2.7 SRZ. This pales in comparison to the Ranger, which has all of these as standard across the range. Under the bonnet are a range of new or improved engines. In the case of the Hilux, there are 2 all-new 4-cylinder turbodiesels from the GD family, both with common rail direct injection, variable nozzle turbos and exhaust gas recirculation. The range starts with a 2.4-liter 1GD mill that delivers 150 PS at 3,400 revolutions per minute and 400 Nm of torque between 1,600 and 2,000 revolutions per minute, 6 PS and 57 Nm higher than the outgoing 2.5-liter 2KD FTV turbodiesel. The range-topping 2.8G gains a 2.8-liter 2G DFTV engine that punches out 177 PS at 3,400 revolutions per minute and 450 Nm of torque between 1,600 and 2,400 revolutions per minute. That's 14 PS and a whopping 107 Nm up on the old 3.0-liter 1K DFTV. Both engines have intercoolers, but you won't find a bonnet inlet hump on this generation, as the coolers have been moved forwards to sit behind the front bumper. Toyota claims the new positioning increases the engine's efficiency and performance. Transmission choices for the Hilux include a 6-speed intelligent manual gearbox and a 6-speed Super ECT automatic. The former incorporates a rev matching feature that blips the throttle on downshifts for smoother gear changes, while the latter adds a sequential shift mode to row your own gears.